to the first post-movie podcast about the Rise of King Jose. So, please stay with us. And this is the first podcast about the post-movie Rise of King Jose. We first gonna go down the line and say a little bit about ourselves and how basically the movie did and what roles we did in the movie. We're first gonna start off with the first.
Hello, my name is Jaden Howe, and I am 17 years old. This is my second acting gig, and my first one was Subterranean Escape, which was basically our first starting movie. So, and then the Rise of King Jose is our second big movie, which I am King Jose in it. Obviously, so that is who I am.
Hello, my name is Jackson now. He's my twin brother. I'm also 17, and I play a character by the name of Javier Hernandez in The Rise of King Jose. It's also my second movie that I've acted in. First one was also Subterranean Escape, where I played a very determined character that's to try to escape. Based off the name, no pun intended, really. And that's mostly everything about me.
Hello, guys. So I am Nicholas Wortell. I'm 14 years old. I'm cousins with them. So I rolled instead of Rise of King Jose. I played Finnegan Guam and I played Peter Florence, and I was the main operator for that movie about behind the scenes. So I also played in the movie Subterranean Escape. I played as basically the boss of basically the bunker, who basically gave Jackson challenges to make him escape or not escape. That movie has been popular on our channel, so that was still our first movie, but I feel like it's a pretty good movie.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's garnered the most views of the movie so far.
But I kind of want The Rise of King Jose to step up too, even though that I had to republish it twice, and since it has only been out for a few days.
Yep.
So I will ask them questions that AI made, and we are all gonna give our thoughts about them. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So we are first gonna go to Jaden, and Jaden, so what were some biggest challenges of you that you faced during the film?
I would say just trying to figure out the scenes, getting them in the right order, and making sure that just everyone is on the same mindset that I was in, because I wanted this to be a professional film, even though it's a home movie. So I still had the same mindset with it. Some challenges I face are talking in front of the camera. Since I stutter, it makes it 10 times harder on me, but sometimes I just have to get over it and just talk to people.
Okay, and since basically if I say a question that you guys don't basically want to answer, just say I don't really want to answer this question. Okay? So Jackson.
Alright, so some of my biggest challenges is that I kind of struggle sometimes communicating with my peers in front of the camera and off of the camera too, so that's one of the big challenges I had to face. Another one I would have to say is
here. So while he's thinking, I can answer. So my biggest challenge was basically getting what the scene was thinking. So sometimes I messed up during the scene that which they basically planned out, and then which we had to basically redo the scene. So that was basically my biggest challenge while filming.
Okay. Another one would I sometimes like struggle with comprehending some of the scenes and kind of struggle like remembering some of them. So that's another one of the biggest challenges I had to face during the film.
Okay. Next question. So we're not gonna go through all 15, but basically we're gonna go through a lot. So Jaden, were there any scenes that didn't turn out the way that you expected?
I did not honestly think of sitting on that toilet. Because
I told him to do that.
Nick had told me to sit on that toilet, so I really didn't think I would be on that scene, but it just happened. So another scene I didn't think of doing was the Luke and Paul scene, and it was meant to be Pop who did that scene.
His Pop. His Pop.
Oh, his grandpa. That's just what we call him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Jack.
Anyways, those were the scenes that I didn't think were expected.
Alright, so going back to the toilet scene or whatever, I had to film it, so I was honestly terrified, traumatized while filming it. Like, it made my brain explode. That's how bad it was, but
Okay. So the two scenes that didn't really turn out the way that I wanted to was, first of all, I think the dinner scene, because it kind of got a little bit too out of hand. Some stuff happened that we didn't really mean to, when basically I got whipped right in the back.
oh, I remember that.
And backstory. So basically, in the film, I kind of extended the strap around Jackson's neck,
Oh, yeah.
and
Almost made me choke to death.
no, but basically his neck was hurting for the next 2 days. And one more scene that didn't really turn out the way I wanted to was basically the finale. Like it was kind of like mixed opinions in my.
That kind of caught me off guard, not gonna lie, really. Just watching it.
Yeah. Like it sounded good on paper, but like basically the execution of the filming was actually not as planned.
Yeah.
Okay. So, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently with your performance?
And who is this to?
Okay.
Me?
We are going through everything.
My performance.
Anything that you would have done different?
I wanted to say I would change anything because we didn't really have a rep in mind. We just went
Like kind of went like scene by scene and then like yeah. Okay, so Jackson, would basically you have done anything?
Me, there's like nothing I could
Nothing,
want to
Jaden?
change.
Nothing that you could have done different, because I have nothing.
No, I think I did. amazing
I
with
would
performance.
say just not doing that toilet scene because it really embarrassed me a whole heck of a lot.
Okay, now next question. Was basically the script felt unfinished, rushed, or too weak, or pretty powerful?
And I think it wasn't the perfect amount of time. We didn't rush it. We really took our good old time. We had to like 2 whole months, so that I'm felt some pretty provoking.
To me, the only thing that I thought was weak was probably the ending. I feel like it could have played out a little bit more differently. I feel like that was kind of weak.
Okay. I feel like at some points it was kind of rushed. Like kind of like the first 15 minutes. It was just like Jaden met Jose and kept on going inside of his dungeon room and started firing until probably the washroom scene, right? Yeah.
That felt pretty slow mopping.
Do you think any scene should be cut or reworked in the final edit that kind of made the movie a lot better?
This one, I would say that the final fight scene. I didn't really like the red tinting. I wanted more of a fire scene, but it kind of worked out well. I just wished we had the fake fire on the walls and
Yeah, me
furniture
too.
and the
But
ceiling
kind
and the
of,
flooring.
I couldn't find anything. I searched for 35 whole minutes trying to. So
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of work
yeah.
just to go all through it. For me, the only thing that I think could be cut would be like one of those scenes that I think repeated basically. It was like when he was like holding me on the bed or whatever, pinning me against it. It kind of repeats with that.
Oh wow, you're stoned now, aren't you?
That's basically how I played it.
Okay, and I have nothing because since I basically edited it, but there were some more cuts that I could have done,
Yeah.
but
Still went out okay.
did any plot points feel unrealistic or forced even while filming?
Could I please answer this
Yeah,
one?
go.
The only thing that I felt like was forced or whatever was when you guys put the chain around my neck. Like I didn't really want to do that first, but then it was too late, really.
I think the fourth scene was probably Queen Lopez because
Yeah, so she did not want to get pushed out the window.
One thing I think was forced was my toilet
Toilet
scene.
Yeah.
okay.
I did not think of sitting on the toilet. I just wanted to bathe and then
And
out.
then basically Chef Sirloin and Dr. Deuce wanted Jaden to do that, and then basically I had to call it out because Sirloin and Deuce was not in the movie
Yeah, then this
yet.
guy definitely forced him.
So that's why. Were there any characters that didn't get enough development or screen time?
I think Prince Alan and Princess Alice, since they really didn't
Show up in any part?
I think Prince Alan had one reference to his car, but I don't
They
think
do
he
anything
ever
else.
got shown.
Okay, Jack.
For me, I think Queen Lopez, since she was only in like 2 scenes really, just her getting like pushed out the window,
And then her.
and then her
sidewalk.
on the sidewalk. Yeah.
I think the character, I feel like it was Dr. Deuce and Chef Sirloin, because it was mostly the dinner scene, the poker scene, and the medical scene. So I feel like he could have showed up like in like kind of like the Luke Paul, like
More in a
kind of-
way.
Yeah. Like kind of a little bit before like the Luke Paul scene. So we got about 2 more questions or 3. How do you think the film handled pacing? Were there moments that dragged or moved too fast?
I think it's the perfect length every scene. I don't think it was rushed, but I don't think we really took our time on it either.
Okay. I don't feel like I don't feel like answering this question.
I think the Luke Paul scene kind of went on for too long, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it could have been like
that was a
shorter.
15-minute scene, guys.
Yeah.
So that was like the longest scene.
Well, he's also a
Tourist. So.
tourist.
I mean, we still had to give him like a tour and everything. That's what took too long.
So, we did not have any budget or time constraints with this movie, problems, anything.
Nope.
Were there any parts of the movie that the audience misunderstood?
Well, I don't think anyone commented yet, so if they did.
But, okay, here, let's make it. Is there any parts in the movie that you think that is too misunderstanding for people?
I think the story is pretty
Understandable?
understandable. If you just watch it from the start
to the end.
to the end,
And then,
because
guys-
I don't think
Yeah.
you should be
From the middle to
skipping
like,
around.
Yep. And guys, and I did have a movie background description inside of like the description, so it basically shows like the before and then the movie goes to the after.
I don't think any of the scenes are misunderstanding, but one scene I think that is understanding would probably be the toilet scene, because I feel like everyone has at least took a dump in their life, or many more. So I understand to that.
I think the misunderstanding scene is probably the Queen Lopez scene.
All right.
Because it basically just popped out of nowhere.
Can we just
Yeah, I feel like everyone understands.
Can we just
like,
have-
they're taking a dump this life? So.
can we just have an open-ended one?
Yeah. Okay. Last one. What lessons will you take from this project into your next role or film?
I hope that we have more King Jose movies. I don't think we should shut it down, but then my next role will come in our next film is the Roaring Age, so it should be pretty fun since it takes some set in the 1920s.
So basically, what lessons did you take from the Rise of King Jose film, and what will
To probably be better at acting in my next movie, I feel like it was kind of like downplayed too much for my acting.
Okay.
We may get a sequel, guys.
role? Hopefully I can get way better and put more effort into editing the movie.
Alright.
Because King Jose, I kind of I kind of stacked off. So I think King Jose.
Yeah, sorry for the interruptions, guys. It's just
Yeah.
some things
It
are going
is,
on.
it is just natural nature of being inside of a suburban. So, thank.
Maybe we should have done this
Inside.
Inside.
But probably the next podcast we can do that. So guys, thank you for tuning in after the Rise of King Jose. We got
Jaden.
Jackson.
and Nick, the three
See you
three
in the
main-
next
guys.
one.
See you guys.